There's someone on your team right now who needs to go. You already know who it is. They've been with you a long time. Maybe they even helped you build the early version of this company. They're loyal. They're decent. They're nice. You like them. You share history. But the bottom line is that they're no longer competent in the role that they hold today. What you're calling loyalty isn't loyalty. It's avoidance. And avoidance always sends the bill somewhere else. While you protect one legacy role, your highest performers, they're watching and they're carrying all the extra weight. They're starting to resent the imbalance. And right now, some of them are quietly asking a dangerous question. Why am I giving everything to a system that doesn't protect excellence? They're trading the future of your organization for its past. And those same high-level employees are quietly, and maybe not so quietly, starting to update their resumes. I'm Scott Smith. I'm a father of 12, and I'm a business leader. I don't deal in theoretical leadership. In a family the size of mine, our standards are not optional. If I was to allow one child to ignore the rules while the other 11 live by them, I don't just lose authority with that one child, I lose the trust of the entire system. Leadership works just about the exact same way. The pressure that you're feeling right now is not a motivation problem, and it's not a work ethic problem. What you have is a justice problem. Today, we're going to use the Stoic definition of justice to help you resolve the paralysis you're in. We're going to do that before your best people disengage or choose to walk away. Let's put a name to what's happening inside your organization. Silent resentment. See, you have A players. Your A players, they deliver. They solve problems. They move the mission forward. And then you have role players. They have their value, and sometimes they help you move things right down the line that you need to move them. And maybe they can grow to learn to become A players. Then you have seat fillers. And right now, this includes that legacy role that you've been protecting. Someone who's slow to adapt. They're resistant to change. There's someone who says things like, that's not how we used to do it. Every time you excuse them, or you excuse missed deadlines, or you protect their mediocre output, you're sending a signal, whether you intend to or not. And the signal that you're sending says performance is optional. It says tenure outweighs contribution. Tenure is more important than excellence. Your best people do not experience this as kindness. They experience it as betrayal. I want you to put yourself in their shoes for a minute and feel that betrayal. They're operating at full capacity while you allow someone else to operate at maybe half and call it fairness. The frustration you feel building in yourself isn't anger. It's your conscience. You're aware. You have that internal signal that you're presiding over what has become a completely unfair system. This is precisely where modern leadership advice gets it wrong. We've been told to treat everyone equally. The Stoics disagreed. Seneca argued that justice is not equality. Justice is proportion. People should receive in proportion to their contribution, to their responsibility. They should receive according to their alignment with the mission. To reward low contribution, the same as high contribution, is not compassion. It is absolutely injustice. And it's an injustice committed against your very best people. Most leaders honestly delay this decision, not because they're weak. It's not because they're weak, but because they remember who this person used to be. They remember who they once were. But as a leader, you can't be about just honoring memory. Leadership is not about honoring memory. It's about stewarding reality. When protection is no longer earned, continuing it creates disorder. Not making the judgment you need to make does not preserve harmony. It quickly dissolves it. Sometimes it slowly erodes, but it always dissolves it. I want you to stop framing this as firing a friend. This is about restoring alignment, not about firing a friend. When you have the conversation and you know you have to have this conversation, when you have the conversation, remove emotion, remove any justification, only speak in facts. The role has simply outgrown the person. It's not cruel to demand competence. It's cruel to ask an entire team to compensate for the absence of competence. In a family, when standards erode to keep the peace, you don't get harmony, you get chaos. Well, in an organization, the same thing happens. When you protect mediocrity, you don't preserve loyalty. You signal that excellence is negotiable. Your responsibility is not to the past. Your responsibility is to the mission and to the people who are carrying it forward. Your responsibility is to your A players and to your role players, the ones who have the potential to grow and become A players. The danger isn't that you're going to hurt someone's feelings. The danger is waking up 6 months from now and having a whole team full of average performers, full of role players and seat fillers, because your A players, those exceptional ones, quietly or maybe not so quietly, left. So be just, be proportional, and lead like someone who respects the mission more than the nostalgia. This channel is for leaders who carry real responsibility and who make real decisions under pressure. If that's you, subscribe. I'll see you in the next briefing. Let's go.